watching a series of classes that is called Code of Ethics and How to Be Ethical in an Interpreting Encounter. But I repeat, you can apply this principle to any profession that you have, and I guarantee you, you're gonna have a positive feedback and positive outcome. So today we're going to talk about, I create this video because reading the national standards and the Californian standards of best practice and code of ethics, and being working with various companies here in America and different companies back in Europe, I believe it's important that we talk about these few factors here and how they can affect your performance as an interpreter and your personal development. So this class is gonna be called Faithfulness, Honesty, and Advocacy, and how these values or terms can be used in interpretation environment. Okay, this is again this is part of classes called Code of Ethics. Let's start with the first, number one, faithfulness. What faithfulness mean? Interpreter must interpret the context, the spirit, and the meaning of the message faithfully in order to build trust and add the cultural content or context, or if there is any kind of a gesture, non-verbal or non-word express communication. What this mean for the interpreter? If interpreter interpret only words, this is not enough. Interpreter have to seek for understanding. Cultural based understanding, ask if necessary to add, to clarify, to understand, to add something more. Another meaning of the faithful mean that interpreter have to faithfully interpret everything, the whole content, which can include cursing, offending, anything that is said, the interpreter have to interpret. Do not filter. If there is a prejudice, if there is some special sensitive meaning to a message, interpreter have to convey it. That's mean faithful, guys. When you swear in a legal interpreting, you do swear that you're gonna interpret on the best of your knowledge everything. Faithfully mean do not filter. You're not responsible for what is said there. You're only there to convey the meaning of the message without adding, omitting, changing, submitting anything, without submitting. All right, so honesty. What honesty mean in an interpreter encounter? If the interpreter interpret and make an error, and let's say this is in a medical encounter, there is nobody but the interpreter, the patient, and the doctor. There is gonna be only one person that is gonna know that you guys make an error, and that's gonna be you. You're the only person in the conversation that know that there was an error of interpretation or misinterpretation or adding, omitting, missing something. Only the interpreter have that information. Or if the interpreter made mistake, interpreter is the only person that know and is aware of that. Honesty in an interpreting mean that interpreter must admit the error, and this requires authenticity. You have to constantly self-monitor yourself for errors, and you have to admit them, right? Not only, but the second reason why honesty is so important is because it's not enough to admit to yourself and be like, okay, I as an interpreter, I'm aware I did miss something, I did add something. Normally, me as an interpreter, when I miss something, when I'm not sure I heard it correctly, I say something, something, interpreter missed a word or two. So on the other side, they are aware, but I already know when I interpret, I know that I miss few words, especially if I work with Russian language where the people talk, talk, talk forever. They want to tell you all their life, right? So I am aware that if the interpreter is speaking so much and they speak for a few minutes, and I am about to pause them because they're really going out of the context of the question, interpreter always add, interpreter request the patient to pause, interpreter miss few words, thank you ma'am, right? But remember guys, the main focus when you interpret, correct, add, omit or something is the well-being of the patient. If you if let's say the patient repeat I don't know, and the interpreter interpret only I don't know, this is not gonna harm the patient health, right? Because in Bulgaria mean I am thinking about something, right? But this is not something that is gonna affect the patient health. But if it's something important in the middle of the conversation that you omit, it's fundamental that you have the honesty to correct it. And number three, I did create a special video which is called How to Advocacy in a Medical Interpreter Field, and you can click on that button over here to find that video. And when to advocacy, why advocacy take part of the code of ethics. The meaning is more or less the same, so I put all this information in this video here. Advocacy is ethical and justified by law only when you do it to prevent harm, health problem, or to add something to the well-being of the patient. There is a video that describes in detail when to advocacy, how to advocacy, how to do it in a transparent way. Again, you can click on the button upstairs and follow up with that video. So again, guys, that was Code of Ethics, faithfulness, honesty, and advocacy together. Why is important to be ethical? Because if there is a necessary to prevent a harm or a well-being, or somebody harm of a well-being, it's at risk, and you as an interpreter do not do that. You are responsible. So in order to be ethical, we have to follow the rules and know when it's appropriate to do so. Thank you for being here again. That was everything from Ioana and Mirror Interpretation Todorova. I hope this video was useful for you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and you can write a comment to subscribe or request a topic. Thank you guys and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.